What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here. I've got another Palantir update for a lot of you guys. There has been a boatload of news coming out about this company since our last update, so we have a lot of things to cover. The stock at the current time that I'm recording this video today is up about 6.4%. So those of you guys that were a little bit worried about the pullback that we were calling for down into the 14s and then right back up, well, we just made a new 52-week high. And again, I do have a little bit of a trade to show you guys. I did put my money where my mouth is there, but we're going to talk about that later. But we have a lot of news, guys. We have a lot of key catalysts coming up. So before we get into everything else, guys, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, dropping a comment down below, but most importantly, hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications because we go live stream the stock market every single day, and you definitely do not want to miss those. So team, without further ado, let's roll the intro and get right into it. Now, guys, before we go any further, go over the technical breakdown of what is happening with Palantir right now. And in addition, all of the news. Guys, we are coming up on your last chance to get your first month free to trade1348.com. The algorithms, the alert systems, the real-time unusual options activity alerts, all of the curriculum videos, and the best community on the trading space right now. Again, guys, time is running out to get this 1 month free deal. I'm going to be having an interview out on my channel basically at the end of this week, guys, of one of our members. He's 19 years old, and I think he made over $50,000 in the last month just trading based off of what we are teaching every single day. So again, if you are interested in this, make sure you guys check out that link down below and use code GAINS, G-A-I-N-Z, and stay tuned for that interview coming out a little bit later this week. But let's get into Palantir here and do a little bit of a brief technical breakdown. So we started talking about Palantir again as it was moving up on this absolute moon mission here. Now, again, we do see this daily traffic light right here. Again, part of trade1348.com and all of the amazing tools that we give you guys every single day. Now, when the stock was trading up here, what did we say? Well, you guys can go back and watch those videos. Don't take my word for it here. The proof is already out there that we were most likely in for a pullback down into this 13-14 range. Now, when we started to move back up here and we throw this thing on the 4-hour time frame, well, we started to see another one of these traffic lights to the upside. We saw it flickering in here, but nothing really too crazy to worry about. And now we are seeing us break into that $17 range. And as you guys can see right here, we capitalized pretty aggressively on this with an over 100% trade, which is really awesome. Now, what would I expect to see out of Palantir now? Well, when we're looking at this daily time frame again, you come over here, their earnings are going to be on Wednesday, May 9th, or approximately August 9th. Sorry, not May 9th, Wednesday, August 9th. Now, we've talked about this a lot in the past that the big catalyst for Palantir to actually go on a very, very explosive move to the upside is really good earnings consistently quarter over quarter, year over year. That is why that this stock is most likely something that a lot of you guys are going to look more towards a long-term investment versus something that is going to make you a bunch of money really quick, which is not how you should be operating in the market anyway. And that is going to be something that you guys really need to get out of your system if that is what you are trying to do at this current time. The market is all about slow, consistent growth over time, not one lottery ticket trade. But looking at this thing right here, I definitely see that this thing could continue to the upside depending on what happens with earnings season and the overall market. But again, when you start to see this thing get overcooked like this, don't be afraid of pullbacks. Remember, guys, dollar cost averaging is going to be your friend over time if you guys like these companies that we talk about on this channel. Remember, nothing I say in these videos is financial advice, guys. I'm just here to give you guys more information in an easier to understand way than you would have been able to really understand otherwise. Now, guys, let's get into a couple of the key pieces of news that has been coming out around Palantir over the last week or so here. So this is the first thing that I want to talk about, and I find this incredibly interesting. Palantir stock alert. Palantir is betting big on Rubicon stock. Some people believe that Palantir stock is being undermined by Palantir startup investments. Palantir has acquired about 6 million more shares of Rubicon, ticker RBT, a startup company that combined with a special purpose acquisition company, SPAC. Palantir has been criticized for investing in SPACs in the past, but as you guys can see here, when they come down a little bit further, bringing its stake to about 6.2%. As of this writing, Palantir stock's up about 5%. Palantir creates and markets data analysis tools. Meanwhile, Rubicon operates a digital marketplace for waste and recycling service. But what people may not know is that Palantir also has contracts with Rubicon. take a second to understand what Palantir is doing here. Palantir has a market cap of about 36 billion. Rubicon has a market cap of 63 million. What Palantir is doing is taking stakes in companies that they think that they are able to help generate more value to, while also making money from the companies, not only directly paying them for their contracts, but when Palantir puts their data analytics tools into these companies, well, the value of those companies most likely over time will continue to go up slowly. Remember, guys, nothing in this market is meant for this get-rich-quick nonsense. But I find this incredibly interesting. If Palantir is going to operate in this way, and especially go after some of these smaller commercial clients that they can help generate more revenues and more value for their customers, but they also own equity in the company, I think that's a very, very good thing. Now, criticism of Palantir SPAC investments: Rubicon is one of Palantir's customers. In the past few years, some critics have said that Palantir's practice of investing in firms that subsequently become customers is negative for Palantir stock. I completely disagree with that. Some on the street believe that Palantir is buying revenue with such deals. But the key thing here is that they're getting more revenue, and they also have the upside potential of those companies when they actually use the technology that Palantir is providing, which is actually really good technology. I like this. I think this is something that we got to keep a lookout for over the next few years here, but this is something very interesting that I don't think a lot of people know about. And very quickly, I kind of want to point some fun at these analysts. I know some of you guys watching these videos here really try and take to heart what a lot of these quote-unquote financial analysts say. But if you go through and look at their track records, they're always late, and most of the time, they're pretty wrong. When we come over and take a look at this right here, Palantir is well-positioned for the AI wave, but Mizuho analyst isn't ready to turn bullish on the stock yet. He upgraded the price target from 8 to 14, kept a neutral rating, but as you can see by the share price after their last earnings, it's absolutely rocketed. A lot of these analysts, guys, are very behind on what they're doing in the marketplace every single time. So again, that's just a nice little cautionary tale there. Make sure that you're not looking at these analyst ratings as something that you should be using as an investment thesis. They usually have no idea what they're talking about. But continuing over here, this is incredibly interesting as well. Deputy at Pentagon's Data and AI office to depart for Palantir. You see this a lot in the overall defense sector with all of the lobbying that the defense sector does in our government, where these defense companies like a Lockheed Martin or a Raytheon or a couple of these other companies too will lobby for certain things to happen in order to get more contracts or generate more revenue for that company. And then you see a lot of the people in the Department of Defense then go and work at a lot of those companies, the defense companies. And we're starting to see something similar with Palantir here. Deputy at Pentagon's Data AI office to depart for Palantir. Greg Little, the Pentagon's inaugural Deputy Chief Digital and Artificial Intelligence Officer for Enterprise Platforms and Business Optimization, is leaving his position at the end of July. Now, you can look at this in the form of, oh, Palantir is hiring some very smart individuals that work in the United States government, but that's not necessarily how I'm thinking about this. If Palantir is going to continue having these types of relationships with the United States government, and also then when these people working in the government want to move then into the private sector, I believe this individual worked in the private sector, right here, for 14 years, and is the government sector for 14 years, and is then moving into the private sector. These types of relationships are very good for revenue and new contracts over time, because if the people working at these positions in the government are going to be having the decision-making ability to determine, okay, who are these contracts going to go to? Well, if they know that there's a giant bag of money waiting for them at the end of the tunnel here after they want to move into the private sector, odds are a lot of those contracts could then go back into Palantir. Definitely something that we want to keep a lookout for over the next couple of years as well. And then, guys, the last piece of news that I want to talk about before I send you guys on your way this evening is Palantir did recently announce a new partnership with Air Matrix here. The details of this partnership aren't necessarily completely disclosed yet, but again, more commercial sector clients are definitely going to be a good thing for Palantir in order to diversify their revenue stream. Palantir Technologies and Air Matrix, a trailblazer in airspace and infrastructure technology, today, which was this on July 12th, announced a strategic partnership to accelerate and scale its drone operations by leveraging Palantir Foundry through the Foundry for Builders program. Again, all good things right now coming out through Palantir, but the thing that we really need to look for going into the next couple of months here, guys, and the big catalyst for any Palantir investors is going to be their next earnings in the beginning of August. When that happens, obviously we're going to be doing a very, very in-depth breakdown on what that exactly means, what all the numbers mean, so that you guys as investors have a better understanding of what things look like going forward. So again, guys, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button on the video here, that is going to wrap it up for us. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button on your way out. Other than that, team, have a great rest of your evening. Peace.